So, after work, I had the munchies and decided I was going to get some popcorn. And I'm so glad I did because I was listening to this press conference with the president of Finland and our beloved President Donald J. Trump. And so, without further ado, I'm going to share a video clip with you that is definitely worth bringing out the popcorn out while you're listening. I mixed it up a little bit today. Rather than just having regular popcorn, I went and grabbed some Cracker Jacks, a favorite childhood treat. And so without further ado, I'll share the video clip. Here we go. Grab your popcorn.
I want to thank you. Outstanding. John Roberts.
Mr. President, thank you. President Inishnu. If I could, sir, I've got two pertinent questions to ask you. Maybe I could ask them separately to get a fresh answer out of each one. The three House committees that are looking into the impeachment inquiry gave note.
All right, get your popcorn out. Now, I can't remember if John Roberts is the MSNBC, CNN, Fox. They're all fake, okay? Just my humble but accurate opinion. You don't know who to trust anymore. They make all this crap up. All right, so check this out.
Just today that they will be sending a subpoena to the White House for documents and other materials.
Dumb.
Will you cooperate with those subpoenas?
Well, I always cooperate. This is a hoax. This is the greatest hoax. This is just a continuation of what's been playing out, John, for the last, since my election, I would say, if you want to. Probably, we'll find out soon, but probably even before my election. This is a fraudulent crime on the American people, but we'll work together with Shifty Schiff and Pelosi and all of them, and we'll see what happens because...
Shifty Schiff is so funny. Making all this crap up on this conversation that our president, a perfectly appropriate conversation with the president of Ukraine, dialogue and so forth, diplomatic dialogue between him and another president, in this case, the president of Ukraine. Shifty Schiff, as you already know, totally took, I don't even know if he read the report or the transcript of the conversation that our president had with the president of Ukraine, but it was like he made up everything. I mean, like, are you kidding me? Anyway, on to the rest. Get your popcorn. Keep eating your popcorn.
We did absolutely. I had a great call with the president of Ukraine. It was 100%. You have the transcript. And then Schiff went up and he got, as the chairman of the committee, got up and related a call that didn't take place. He made up the language. Hard to believe. Nobody's ever seen this. I think he had some kind of a mental breakdown. But he went up to the microphone and he read a statement from the President of the United States as if I were on the call. Because what happened is when he looked at the sheet, which was an exact transcript of my call, done by very talented people that do this, exact, word for word, he said, wow, he didn't do anything wrong. So he made it up. He went up to a microphone and in front of the American people and in Congress, he went out and he gave a whole presentation of words that the President of the United States never said. It has to be a criminal act.
Okay, so this is where President Trump is getting ready to lay down the crap, okay? So, it's amazing to me. It is amazing to me. Here's the issue. Millions of Americans don't even know what's going on, okay? They assume that what they watch on television is all true and factual, especially if it's a speech by the House Intel Committee. The chairman of the House Intel Committee. And so here's his Shifty Schiff talking before Congress and before millions of American people. And word has it, I think this came out in some report, I don't know exactly which report, but it was so fraudulent and so such an untruth. These are all lies. From what I understand, a report was out where Adam Schiff was actually confronted with, here you have the transcript, and here's what you're saying, and the two don't even look like they're the same conversation. On one hand, it's what the president had by way of conversation with the president of Ukraine, which again was perfectly appropriate. On the other hand, you have Adam Schiff coming up with this La La Fairyland speech, and the two don't even represent or resemble anything. The problem with this is that what came out of Adam Schiff's mouth, which was full of Schiff, a lot of people are looking at that speech that he gave and listening to that as if it is truth. And this is the problem that we have with corrupt politicians. I'm not just talking about Democrats. It's on both sides of the aisle, okay? But it is so blatant and so dishonest and so corrupt that Adam Shifty Schiff did absolutely no favors for the American people to do what he did, other than to continue the corruption and continue and encourage not this impeachment crap that's going on, but rather this staged coup attempt at unseating a duly elected president who was voted in by 63 million Americans. That is who we voted for. And they're trying to undo this. Now, there's another video out there by Jerry Nadler that he did years ago, and he was talking about the problems of trying to unseat a duly elected president. I think this is during the time when Bill Clinton was being impeached, and then Jerry Nadler was like, "Oh, you can't do this. A duly elected president's going to create problems. It's going to be a threat to our democracy." Well, guess what he's doing now? Okay, you probably saw it on YouTube somewhere. All right, listen to the Prez.
Has to be. And he should resign. And some people even say it was treason. But it was a very sad thing. Just so you know, the call was perfect, the real call, the call I made. Many people were on the line. I knew that because usually when I speak to foreign country leaders, you can name any one of them, but when I speak on the phone, I know that we have many people listening from various intelligence agencies. My knowledge, I know all about it. And so this isn't something like, oh, gee, I'm on the line, let's talk about a big secret. This is many people on the line. I don't even know how many. We'll find out, I guess. But many people, Mike Pompeo was on the line, didn't say anything. He just, because they listen for both knowledge and for security reasons and for lots of reasons. But the president of Ukraine at the United Nations the other day, and previous to that, he announced through his spokesperson, said there was absolutely no pressure put on him. There was no quid pro quo at all. And if you look at this whistleblowers, which I have a lot of respect for whistleblowers, but only when they're real, his report of the phone call was totally different than the fact. But what got them was they never thought I was going to release the call, because I don't like doing that. I don't want to do it. I hope I don't have to do it again. Release phone calls to foreign dignitaries, to foreign leaders. I don't want to do that, John. I don't want to do it again. But I did it with the permission of the Ukrainian government. We got permission. We called up their representatives and asked them, would it be okay? Otherwise, I couldn't have done it. And if I wouldn't have done it, I would have been exposed to a lie. Because the whistleblower report, didn't he say 7 or 8 times I said quid pro quo? In other words, you're going to do this or you're not going to get money. Now, in all fairness, Biden said it, and he's on tape. In all fairness, you have at least 4 United States senators, Democrats, that said it, and they said it a lot stronger than even Schiff and his made-up story said it. Obama.
So, I'm going to put the link below of this video. So President Trump says something very, very, very very clear and very telling, and that is that when he was on the phone with the president of Ukraine, there are other people listening in on the call for information, for security purposes, and I imagine not just in our countryside in terms of the United States, but I imagine there's probably Ukrainian intelligence people listening to the conversation as well, or diplomats and officials that are listening to this, so that the dialogue between our two countries is obviously secure, and secondly, that's on the up and up. So anyway, so glad I had my popcorn on my way home as I'm listening to basically our president once again school not just this particular reporter, but our media. He goes on to say and talk about how dishonest and corrupt the media is today. All right, would love to hear your comments. Feel free to comment below, like, share, pass this this report on to other people, and only be strong and courageous and be bold in speaking the truth. All right, talk to you later.